When I first got the script for The Wolf, the Fox and the Leopard, when I first read it before I'd even auditioned, I thought there were so many philosophies being explored in the script, and you know, so many angles and so many supporting characters that represented different archetypes in our world. You know, so there was a lot going on, but I think the through line and strength of this woman that I ended up playing, you know, was something I instantly was pulled to, and instantly was like, it's gonna take a really specific person, physically abled person to do this, and I thought, you know, I could have a good shot at this. I was kind of mystified by it, you know, the kind of dark fairy tale, and yeah, I just wanted to be involved really as soon as I read it.
It was very particular when I read this script, and it was quite a long time before we started shooting. I was really mesmerized. I was happy that there was someone out there who wrote something like this. It caught me. It didn't feel like mainstream. It didn't feel like wanting to be something. It felt like someone knows what he wants to tell, and that's what immediately got me.
David has a very distinct voice in what he's trying to do, but it's also so layered. Yeah, straight away you're just like, oh, I'm excited to work on something where somebody is so sure about what they want to do.
So I prepared for the role physically luckily we had a bit of time before we shot, because it was supposed to be shooting in June and then started shooting in October instead. So I had from June to October to work with a movement coach, get my fitness up, get my stamina up, teach my body to move like a wolf, like a dog, you know, which is nearly impossible, well, not quite.
We would meet every morning in the studio. We would split our days. We kind of decided early on to split the days. So we do half in the studio and then half in the woods. And the studio time would be for us to work on different parts of the script, different exercises, as well as training someone to realistically look like that they could live and breathe and be with a pack of wolves.
So basically we did a prep week before actually shooting, where I was kind of bonding with them and spending, you know, every day with them from morning till evening. I saw them as like regal kind of beings, like much above me, because at first, you know, you're terrified and you're like, oh my God, I'm just gonna get devoured by these things. And then you realize, right, they're a bit more scared of you than you are of them and stuff. But then quite quickly, I just wanted to integrate with them. I wanted them to love me. I wanted a bond. You could kind of figure out which one was at the top and who the alpha female was, and where you slotted in that rank. And it was really profound, you know, being that close to wild nature is like, it makes you think differently, and yeah, it was privilege, yeah.
First of all, it was a very particular set because it was an oil rig, and one usually doesn't get to be on an oil rig. So that was already quite amazing. First part of rehearsing was actually discussing different versions of the script with David. And then we had a week of rehearsals before the shoot. That was also just great, spending time in that room and being weird together. I loved it.
I was so immersed in like understanding of this character before I came onto set, because I created her for months before, you know, just coming up with each section of the character and figuring out who I needed her to be, and pulling on past experiences and pulling on other people, and yeah, I kind of created her from the ground up. And so I certainly prepped a lot to understand and inhabit her. Working with David was, to this day, the most liberating experience I've had on set. You know, like I was given full license, and I was given actually full trust. You know, he knew exactly what he needed and wanted, and he created the Wolf Girl, you know.
It's really been a blessing to have been able to do this film. It's really an accumulation of so many people that I've met over the course of my previous film endeavors that have kind of collectively come together. Producers from Croatia, of course the Netherlands, in Taiwan. This cast also is really like a God-given gift, all of them. It's been like a very long journey, and I feel like a lot of films that I've made have kind of slowly accumulated into this film. So this film is like an ending to something, to a long process. What gave me the idea of this film in the beginning was that I was always fascinated by the topic of feral children because it gives us such a unique opportunity to study what it is to be human. And I wondered, just with everything that's going on in the world and all these things, all these problems colliding, basically what right we would have as humans now to tell somebody what they should be like as a human being. And I wanted to do something about the climate crisis, but in a way that I hadn't seen before. What developed over time, over many versions of writing the script and later over many sessions with the actors, is really like a journey that descends into like someone is in a very pure state, in a way, not an innocent state at all, but a pure state. And she gets in contact with humans, and the thing that bothers her most of all is our ability to tell stories.
I genuinely feel like a massive box had been ticked with this part, and I don't know if I'll ever get something like this again. To have done it and inhabited it and had this moment with these people and David, and it's very special. It's very special to me, and it will always be, and it changed me a lot for the better, and I just want to do stuff like this again and again.